Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ericka. Today we're finally filming part 3 of my rhinoplasty journey. I absolutely love making these types of videos. It's actually one of my favorite videos to film. As you know, I'm so passionate about aesthetics, the beauty and cosmetic industry, so I genuinely love filming these types of videos. Something I think a few of my followers don't know about me is I work a 9-to-5 corporate job doing social media for a cosmetic clinic, and it's just something I'm really blessed to be able to do in my line of work. I always joke that if I could change my career path, or if I could choose to be anything in the world, I would literally be a plastic surgeon. It's too late for that now, but honestly, I just love the idea of transforming and enhancing someone's beauty and making them feel beautiful on the inside and out. In all my videos about plastic surgery, I always do a little disclaimer letting everybody know that I'm a firm believer that beauty on the outside is only as superficial compared to the inner beauty that I think we all embody. I believe that no matter how much you change of your physical appearance doesn't really fix all your insecurities, although it definitely helps give you that confidence. So without further ado, I absolutely love my new nose. I'll get into why I got it, the cost, how I chose my doctor, my nose inspo, and all the other questions about the healing process. Might be all scattered because I don't really have a flow going, but I'm gonna answer as much questions as I got. Thank you guys so much for sending all these questions. I'm so excited to be able to talk about my nose journey. So if you haven't seen part 1 and 2, I'll be linking the video down below, but one of the most common questions that I got is why I got it done, and I talked about this in my first vlog. This nose was actually a revision from 2 prior rhinoplasties that I got back in my home country in the Philippines. The first 2 times I got it done were both silicone implants. The first was horrible. The second was called Goretex, the type of silicone that eventually I think morphed into something else inside my body. I think not a lot of people are aware of this kind of downside. Throughout time, that plastic silicone eventually deteriorates. So in my case, I'll show you guys what it looked like 5 years after I got it done. As my doctor said, it was basically shifting to the right, which was pulling the skin and my left nostril to the other side. So it was kind of making my nose look horrible and uneven. So I absolutely hated it. I think I just kind of like brushed it off for a long time because I thought it looked fine, until one day I was really staring at one of my old videos and I noticed there's something really off with my face. I think I was just like used to putting filters on my face, and I was like, oh, it's not really that obvious, it's fine. And I kind of got complacent and lazy to just fix it. So I think I just was like, it's fine, I'll contour it. It wasn't fine. This is what my nose looked like before all the plastic surgery. I genuinely don't think it was a bad nose. I think that my nostrils were just a little bit more flared out, and the bridge of my nose was a little less contoured and less projected. And back then, when I first got it done, I lived in a society, in a country that had these beauty standards that Caucasian beauty is superior, that having white skin and a pointy nose was beautiful. And I always just wanted that because that's what was instilled in my head. And I think I just have this really perfectionist mindset because for a long time, a lot of people made fun of how I look. So that's something I really struggled with as a teenager. And I felt that if I fixed an insecurity of mine, it would look a lot better. So that's just a little history about why I got a nose job. I do want to say though that noses are the center of your face. I think they balance your features, they bring out your eyes, they bring out the shape of your face a lot more than we think. So if you're someone that's watching this video and considering a nose job because you want to enhance that portion of your face, I'm here for it, girl. Like seriously, it was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Which brings us to my third nose, which I am so genuinely happy about. I want to show you guys up close because I feel like you guys can't see, but the side profile I am so obsessed with. I am just genuinely so obsessed with. The first month, I thought that all the swelling had gone down, but I looked back and I realized, oh my gosh, like I was actually still swollen and I thought I was healed, but I was not. And now, 5 months post-op, I can say that it's definitely changed a lot more than I thought. And this honestly, they say is not the final result. Sometimes it takes 8 months, sometimes it takes a year, and it just depends on the person. My third revision, this nose right now, is actually a rib rhinoplasty, meaning they took my rib. If you're not familiar with rib rhinoplasty, it's basically a procedure where they make an incision on your rib cage and they take a portion of your rib, this size, and they basically carve it into the shape that you want and they implant it in your nose. I decided to go for this procedure because honestly I was so over getting it redone several times and I was scared that if I got silicone again, I would end up having to get it redone again and then I would just waste a ton of more money. And they say that rib rhinoplasties should be more permanent than silicone implants. So I got a lot of questions about the scar and the incision, which also was my main concern when I was getting this done. Because I take a lot of pictures of my abs and my tummy showing a lot, I was concerned about the incision and the scar. So to be clear, everyone scars differently. If you have Asian skin, you're more prone to keloids and scars. That's just the way our body works. I'm not saying all Asians because my sister and I were so different. She's Asian, but she doesn't scar like I do. My breast augmentation scars are not perfect, and when Chrissy, my sister, scars, it's almost barely visible. So again, it's different for everyone. Your face, on the other hand, does not scar as much as your body, and it's because the nerves and the skin on our face is a lot different than the skin on our body. So I did not have any scars on my face and the incisions on my nose. I have a scar in my breast crease, which is how they got the incision to harvest my rib. So I'll insert a picture right here so you guys can see what it looks like. I really didn't want a scar, but because I already had that incision under my breast, I was like, you don't have to cut up my tummy, you're not going to create a new cut, and you're just going to get it from the old incision that I had. So they opened that up again, and then they harvested the rib from there, and then they got my rib. So someone asked, what was your nose peg and who was your inspo? So I know I said my inspo was Olivia Culpo, but I didn't really come into the appointment saying that I want this specific nose. I just was so blessed to have a doctor, I think, that had a really good eye. His name's Dr. Lee, and I'll talk more about him later, but I basically told him that I noticed that my old nose was a little bit shorter on the tip. And all I told him was I wanted my nose to be longer on the tip and I wanted my nostrils evened out. So yeah, basically I really wanted a sharper, longer tip. And I highly recommend that if you are interested in getting a nose job, definitely have those inspo pictures. I didn't have one inspo picture that I showed him. I showed him multiple examples of what I wanted, but also I came in there knowing that his cosmetic style and specialty were Asian noses, and he specializes in revisions, most importantly. So I was like, I need to go to him. I would recommend him even if it's your first time doing it, but again, because he specialized in Asian revision rhinoplasties, I went to him. Prior to surgery, do they have like a simulation for you to be able to tell what it will look like after? At my pre-op appointment where I first met Dr. Lee, he showed me what my nose would have looked like, and as soon as he did the simulation, he was literally at the computer face tuning my nose, and I was like, yes, he understands, he gets what the problem is. I need this nose job. And I was so happy because I had that like picture in my head that was like, that's what I'm gonna look like next month, and I was just so excited. So yeah, definitely go to a doctor or find someone that can show you what they envision in their head, because it's gonna be tricky if you're just trying to explain to each other like, this is what I want, and he's like, oh yeah, I get it, because then what if it doesn't turn out like that? You know what I mean? So you guys are asking which is better, silicone or Goretex. I genuinely would not recommend either of the two. The first time I got silicone, it looked absolutely fake. I don't know if it was the height of my bridge, but you could kind of see the outline of the implant from the outside, so you can kind of see the contour from underneath the skin, which is something I really didn't like. And then with Goretex, it definitely looked more natural than silicone, but it didn't last. And like I said, it deteriorated after a few years, which made me really unhappy about my appearance. The only thing I would say about Rib Harvest is it's a lot more firm and it doesn't move as much as silicone or Goretex would, which I'm fine with because genuinely, like, why am I gonna move my nose anyway? You know what I mean? Like, did you get your nostrils narrowed with your previous nose job? Yes. So that was my biggest issue. Yes, I wanted height on my bridge, but my nostrils were so round that I think my second doctor had to trim my nostrils. So I did have incisions here. Okay, someone said, what was the hardest part about surgery? The hardest part for me personally was the anesthesia. I have a fear of being put to sleep. I don't know, it just makes me nervous. In the operating room, they literally have you undress, change into a gown, wear the socks, remove all your jewelry and all that, and then they wheel you into the room. And honestly, I think they don't want you to see anything that's going on there because you're just gonna get more paranoid. But they monitor your heart, they put an IV in you, and then seconds later, not knowing that it's happening, I think is the scariest part for me. Like, it's like, okay, I'm gonna be put to sleep anytime soon, and then I'm gonna wake up, and then I have a new nose. So I think that was the scariest part for me. And also, not gonna lie, the rib cartilage was a little bit painful. The incision was, I would say, an 8 out of 10. There was no pain at all in my nose area. It was more, again, of that stitch and that rib harvest. It kind of felt like a heartburn. So from time to time, it would be kind of hard to like sit up, or like I'd be in a weird position watching TV on the couch and I'd be like in a weird pain. So for a time, Ross would have to like help me get up, and I felt like I was having my breast augmentation all over again, but on a different scale. Who is my doctor and how much? I'll get into the cost. So I'm going to interrupt this video real quick because I want to thank the sponsor of today, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of incredible classes geared for creators that wish to gain new skills or dive deeper into their passions. During this healing process, I really wanted to discover more about myself and learn more about the skills that I could possibly acquire to become more knowledgeable in. If you're a creator like me or someone that is interested in being in this industry or just sharpening your skills, some of the amazing class topics offered include film and video, marketing and freelance and entrepreneurship. One class that I'm so excited about is YouTube Success. Script, shoot, and edit with MKBHD. If you've never heard of MKBHD, he is one of the biggest top creators in the YouTube space, and he actually has his own class on Skillshare, which is taught by Marquise Brownlee himself. Being able to learn his secrets and implement them for my own channel is just something that I don't think I'd be able to get anywhere else, and it's such a helpful tool to my future videos, future content, and just hopefully making better videos for you guys. It's only $10 a month. The first 1,000 of you guys that click on my link in my description box will get a free trial of premium membership, so you guys can explore your creativity and just learn more great things to implement in your life. So yeah, click on the link in my description, and with that, let's get on to the video. But my doctor was Dr. Lee. I'll put his IG down here and his website in my description box, but he is a magician. I think his Instagram does not do justice to his work. I'm so happy that I went with him, and someone actually asked me why I chose Dr. Lee over Dr. Yu. Dr. Yu I chanced upon because I think I saw him on Yelp. I know Dr. Yu recently did Nikita Dragun's nose, and her nose looks great. It's just I didn't want that Tinkerbell pointed tip that was like kind of like upward. I wanted a more natural nose this time around. I have no regrets about going to Dr. Lee. I highly recommend him and his staff. The results of my nose and how fast it healed, like, he really is a magician. He's amazing. And yeah, I can't say anything better. Is it absolutely necessary to have a companion during recovery? I think yes, it's necessary. For one, because I think I'm a big baby, but also having to cook your own meals and kind of being disoriented for a few days would be a little tricky if you were alone. but I wouldn't say it's impossible. I just think that it would be a lot of help if you did have a companion. So I actually forgot how I got home. I remember the videos that Ross took, and I realized, how did I get up the stairs? Or how did I even fix my bed? Another tip I would say is come home prepared, have your bed fixed, and also clean your house, get everything sorted, because you are going to be a little immobilized and kind of uncomfortable to do anything but rest and sleep. Those are my biggest tips if you're preparing for surgery. Okay, a few more questions. How did you sneeze? That actually was tricky because I didn't realize that I was gonna sneeze so much. Every time I had to sneeze, I would like kind of hold it in and try not to sneeze. It wouldn't hurt my nose, it would hurt my rib. Okay, post-op sleeping position. I slept on the couch. It was actually really nice. I had a table next to me, I had my meds, and everything was set. I had the TV in front of me, and literally I just sat on my couch, slept on my couch, ate on my couch, did everything on my couch for about a week, and it was amazing. Are you happy about the results? I would say like I'm a 9 out of 10 happy. I think I should be more happy because my previous nose, looking back at it, really wasn't it, and I'm just happy at how proportionate everything looks. The only thing I would say is I think my nose developed some sort of scar tissue from the inside, so on some days it's still more swollen than other days, especially on the sides over here. I don't know if you guys can see, but it's a little more swollen here, and I wish it could be like a little more pointy. I'm like super happy, 10 out of 10 on the side angle though, because I think the projection looks amazing. I like how he made the bridge of my nose a little bit lower, which was something I requested. I specifically wanted this to be lower than my older implant because my older implant had like a higher bridge and it just looked too superficial. So I'm like really happy about how it turned out. My nostrils too are more even. It could be a little bit more perfect, but nobody's perfect, and I think every nose is going to have some sort of imperfection. So nobody is going to have a perfect nose, especially if it was altered and man-made. Everyone's going to have some sort of imperfection, and that's fine. How much did you pay? So the cost of the surgery was $19,000. It is a little bit more on the pricey side, but I would say I'm so happy about the results that everything in the whole experience was so worth it. I did have to pay a little more for the COVID test and some of the medications that I had to take after the surgery and the post-op healing, bandages, antibiotics, and all that stuff. So I think I paid about $20,000. Not to say that all nose jobs cost that much, because I know some of them range from about 8 to 10 grand. Depending on your doctor, you guys are gonna get a different cost. So yeah, that is all for today, you guys. I'm gonna end the video here. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you haven't seen part 1 and part 2, again, I'll be linking those videos down below. I hope you liked this video, and if there's anything else I missed, check me out on Instagram, DM me, leave me a comment down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next one.